question is that the motion be agreed to. The Honourable Annette King.
Mr Speaker, I stand for the Labour opposition to support the appointment of Dame Linda Holloway, Dr Habib and the new appointment of Carolyn McElwraith. Three very good appointments, two are reappointments, and Carolyn McElwraith, who works here at Capital and Coast DHB as a very, very experienced councillor, making up, I think, a very strong group of three for what is a pretty difficult job to undertake. The Abortion Supervisory Committee is one that operates under the Contraception, Sterilisation and Abortion Act, and its function is to keep under review all the provision of New Zealand's abortion laws and operations and the effect of those provisions. And that also includes the licensing of institutions to perform abortions. So it is an area where there are often very strong views and often very strongly presented. And so those that take on this job are people and have been over the years, women who have been able to bridge the gap between those views and to a great extent. Dame Linda Holloway is very well known to me from my time before I was a Minister of Health, but particularly during my time as Minister of Health. She has been a long-time advocate for women. She's been a long-time advocate for contraception for women, access to contraception and access to legal abortion in New Zealand. In fact, she was the person that introduced RU486 to New Zealand, a medical abortion as opposed to a surgical abortion, and she advocated for many years for another safe way for a legal abortion. Dr Habib is a GP, as you have heard from the Minister. The Act does require that there be two medical practitioners, and so that requirement has been fulfilled. And as I said, Ms Carolyn McElwraith is a councillor, so I think they are three very good appointments. And I think they can take some credit and strength from the latest statistics, where you look and see that in December 2014, New Zealand has the lowest number of abortions since 1994. And in fact, in their report, their latest report to this House, they said they believe that one of the reasons for that is because of the funding of a long-acting subcutaneous implant contraception from August 2010, and it has seen an overall decline in abortion rates and notes a dramatic drop in the abortion rates of 15 to 19-year-olds, and believe that this can be partially attributed to the introduction of this form of long-term contraception, and they believe that this downward trend for this cohort of age will continue. And I think it's that sort of data and information provided by this council that is really a committee that is really important to be able to see what is happening in the area of abortion. They do, however, say in their recent report, they continue to be very worried about harassment of women, where you must recognise the right to freedom of expression of people who have strong views on abortion, but also the right of women to choose. And they are concerned about verbal abuse, distribution of offensive materials of people entering hospitals, and people go into hospitals for many reasons. Women could be there for dozens of reasons. They ought not to be subjected to coercion or humiliation, and I absolutely support them in that. They also point out that we now have better access to services in the provincial areas of New Zealand, and that has been an issue in some parts of New Zealand in the past where there was not local access, which meant that women were required to travel long distance to obtain a legal abortion. So, Mr Speaker, we do support the appointment of these three women to the committee and wish them well in their work and continue their strong advocacy on behalf of those who seek counselling, advice and legal abortion in New Zealand.
I call Jan Logie.